I don't want to say he's going to be the next Fred, but I just have this feeling that he will be. There's no better way of saying it. Manchester United is a joke.
I believe with the addition of Bruno Fernandes, United have now the opportunity to make a run for the top 4 this season.
Yeah, hey, yeah, they gon' know my name when it drops.
And just recently, it has been reported that Bruno Fernandes has joined Manchester United. That is absolutely fabulous in my opinion. But today, what we will be discussing is, will he be successful at Manchester United? Bo Fekins, what are you thinking?
No.
Come on, man. Give me something.
No. And there's multiple reasons for why the man won't be successful. He's being set up to fail because listen, if you're gonna come into this Manchester United side right now and they're gonna pay around £70 million for a bloke, you better have some experience and some quality to do something to this United side. And I do not believe he has it. I mean, yes, he's put up some top numbers in the Portuguese league, but it's the Portuguese league. I think it's more credible to do well in Scotland than the Portuguese league. Disclaimer, I was joking about the Scottish league. The Portuguese league is definitely better than the Scottish league. But what I'm trying to say is, his resume, it's not worthy. I don't think it's worthy of £70 million to go to a club like Manchester United. And I hope United fans don't expect this guy to be the next Cantona.
Let me share his resume really quickly, just for the viewers that don't know. So he played at Sporting in the Portuguese league, as Bo mentioned. In this season, in 17 matches, 8 goals, 7 assists. Last season, in 33 matches, he had 20 goals and 13 assists. And the season prior, 33 matches, 11 goals, 8 assists. So he is the definition of a scoring midfielder.
Yes, but in the Portuguese league.
And you don't think that will translate?
I don't think it necessarily translates. Look at a player like João Felix for Atletico Madrid. They paid an enormous amount of money for that kid. And that kid put up similar numbers in the Portuguese league. And look at him now. He's doing okay, but he's not putting up nowhere near the numbers he was when he played at Benfica, right?
Here's why I think you're wrong. Here's why I think you're wrong with that comparison you made to João Felix. Because Bruno Fernandes is quite a bit older, so I think that experience comes in. Being an experienced player. But is that a good
thing? Because it means.
But he's not old, but he's not young either. He's 25. Like he has had way more professional football experience, and because of that, I think he'll be able to adapt better.
But expectations also higher for that very same reason. When you're bringing in a João Felix who's 19 years old, fans they want him to get off to a bang hot start, but they'll understand if he has to take time to adjust, right? They'll be like, yeah, he's a teenager. Give him time. Whereas with Bruno Fernandes, well, how much time do you want? You're 25. You're near the prime of your career. And the biggest thing I think at Manchester United is the problem they struggle with is expectation. Fans at Manchester United expect way too much, and we've seen it over and over again. People at Man United thought Harry Maguire was going to be the next Virgil van Dijk. In what universe are those two players comparable? In what universe? And why they thought Maguire was going to do what Van Dijk did at Liverpool is absurd. Yes, United paid a lot of money for him, but it was not to become the next Van Dijk. It's because he's a good defender, but he's not Van Dijk. He's not going to win the Ballon d'Or. And it's the same with a lot of players. Now, one player, I want to point this out, who had no expectation was Daniel James. And who's actually been kind of one of the surprises of the season. One of the better parts of United's season is Daniel James. Why? Because he came in for a very small price, 16 million, but a small price in today's football market. And United fans knew that he was a raw product. They didn't expect him to do what they expect of Bruno Fernandes, to do what they expect of Harry Maguire. And because there was so little expectation, it gave him a platform to perform.
And you're wrong, and here is why. I'm going to tell you are wrong, Bo Fekins, because Bruno Fernandes, from watching a little film on him, he is a box-to-box 8, in my opinion, who is a goal-scoring threat in the final third, and who can pick out a pass And because of that, I believe he will be the anchor in the United midfield. Him and Scott McTominay. Now, I'm not saying this is going to be a good midfield, but he will vastly improve the options they already have, and you can't deny that. If you're looking through their midfield right now, like, their options are very poor. Like, Lingard's been playing in there a bit. Pereira, like, Bruno Fernandes is definitely better than Andres Pereira.
So what's the expectation here?
The expectation is for Bruno Fernandes to step into United's midfield and not fully take up the role that Paul Pogba had before, but move into that role as their best midfielder right now. And he will definitely do that. And I think he will be a goal-scoring threat. I believe Bruno Fernandes, quote me on this, I believe Bruno Fernandes, not to the same heightened level of Paul Pogba, where he's one of the best midfielders in the world, but to some extent will fill those shoes as a midfielder who does a bit of everything and will be a driving force for United's success going forward.
Look, the bloke might be a talented player. Like, he is a talented player. The stats he's putting up in Portugal, there's no doubt he's a talent. But the question was whether or not he'll succeed at United.
And he will succeed.
I do not believe so. I do not believe so, because I think United is not a club set up for players to succeed. Whereas if you look at a club like Liverpool, where you look at a club like Manchester City, it is set up for players to come in and be successful. Whereas Manchester United is the exact opposite. And I fear for Bruno Fernandes. I fear that his career will be impacted by this. And I seriously hope for him and for Manchester United that I'm wrong, that he can come in and improve this side. But I do not believe he will.
I believe with the addition of Bruno Fernandes, United have now the opportunity to make a run for the top 4 this season. He is that important because Bo Feekins, their midfield right now, to be quite honest with you, has been dreadful. And having that man there to add into that, the best player now in their midfield, I believe it genuinely gives them a shot. Not saying they necessarily will, but gives them a very good opportunity to finish in the top 4.
That is blasphemous.
You know they're in 5th right now, only sitting, roughly 6 points off Chelsea?
I know. Ole was very happy. He pointed out in his press conference that United were in 5th. We're doing well. We're in 5th. We're in 5th. This is Manchester United we're talking about. Being in the top four shouldn't even be a question. And this is the problem with United fans. This is the problem. They have all these high expectations for a dude who's never played a single minute in England. He comes in. How do we know what he's gonna play like? At least when Wan-Bissaka, when Maguire came in, we knew what they were gonna play like. We knew the type of players they were. We have no idea what type of player Bruno Fernandes is gonna be in the Premier League. Can he adapt to the physicality? We shall see. But the problem is United fans are sitting here chatting on a YouTube channel saying that he's gonna put them in the top 4, saying that he's gonna be potentially world class. Hold your horses, my friend. Hold them.
Bruno Fernandes, I think you're undervaluing what he's done thus far. I think you're undervaluing. I know it is not to the pedigree of a league like the Premier League, but you have to look at his workload for what it's been and say with the competition in front of him, he's been a fantastic player. And I think in terms of development-wise and all that, that's really going to be up to, did Manchester United scout him properly? Do they have the right people in those positions? And arguably no, but we're going to find out. And I do believe Fernandes long-term will be successful. That said, in order for him to be successful, the club's going to have to achieve some success. And how are they going to do that? By bringing in more players like Fernandes, more good players like Fernandes.
First, they need to sack Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Ed Woodward needs to go somewhere else.
I don't disagree.
Woodward needs to go somewhere else. He needs to take Ole with him. They need to bring in a manager that knows what they're doing. And then they need to start bringing in some players who have some quality and some experience. And that's when Manchester United will slowly begin to achieve success.
So you don't believe under the current management at United, including Ole and Woodward, that Fernandes it's not possible for him to be successful?
No, that's the whole basis of my argument. I obviously believe he has talent, but I do not believe United is a place for players like him to succeed.
All right. Bo Feekins does not believe that Bruno Fernandes will be successful at Manchester United.
don't.
I want to add one more point to my
I don't want to
argument.
say he's going to be the next Fred, but I just have this feeling that he will be.
I want to add one more point to my argument, and that is, have you seen what Ole's done? You don't have to be a fan of all his work, but when it comes to attacking-minded players and counter-attacking football, United have been very good in that area, and that is a category that Fernandes does fit into, and that's a main reason in my argument why I think he'll be successful.
Is that what Man United is going to be now? A team that counterattacks the big team, sits back, 11 men behind the ball, waits for one opportunity.
You know what? If it gets us in the top 4 both weekends, and you can't be too critical of United as an Arsenal fan.
All I'm going to say is how the mighty have fallen. How the mighty have fallen. They're happy that they're in 5th place, close to 4. They're happy to be playing counter-attacking football. They're happy with signing bums like Bruno Fernandes. Next thing you know, they'll be happy with their manager too. Oh wait, they are, because they're giving him way more time than he deserves. You heard it from me. Manchester United is a joke of a football club. I love to end the podcast like this because there's no better way of saying it. Manchester United is a joke. Thank you very much.
And I disagree with all those statements, and I disagree with Bo Feekin's statement that Bruno Fernandes will be a flop. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button. Let us know in the comments whether you think, if you agree with me and think Bruno Fernandes will be successful at Manchester United, or if you agree with Bo Feekins and think that Bruno Fernandes won't be a great player there. So, anyways, thank you guys for watching. Take it easy. Peace.